The sunlight's coming out again. I can't win with this. I could just make y'all suffer, or I could actually be nice and... Nope. There. Hey guys, what's up? It's Matt with 86, and now I'm taking a look at the Mira, specifically the Mira-M mouse. It's one of these beehive design mice that became so popular over the last few years. I know you know what I'm talking about, because if you're like me, you might look at them and go, that's going to get dirty, and I don't want to clean that. But we're going to talk a little bit about it, because the ultimate goal of these beehive mice was to shave off as much weight as possible for competitive gaming. They do offer light weights, such as that 60 to 68 grams, I almost said degrees, which makes them super light. But there are some caveats and holdbacks in some of the more lesser known companies like HK Gaming's Mira mouse that kind of make it a more disadvantage than something like the Aerox 3. The Mira is a very competent and qualifying mouse in my opinion. A little bit cheaper on the construction quality side probably. The plastics don't feel as nice or as strong as something like the plastics on the Aerox 3. They also don't have that good grippy feel, but HK Gaming had a solution for that by adding extra skates, but not just extra skates, grips for the side and grips for your left and right click if you decide that you want to put grips on there and you don't want to just go bare mouse minimum like it is. One funny thing they said too is that they sell it with a dust cover. It's the piece of plastic that covers the mouse, like you might see in most mice in a box. I mean, sure, if you want to say that you sold it with a dust cover, okay. It is allegedly vapor barriered. Now, I can definitely look inside the Aerox 3 and tell that it is vapor barriered, but I can't specifically tell inside the Mira without taking it apart and actually trying to check. I tried looking in there with a light. It didn't appear to be as coated, and if you're wondering what that means, if you look inside the Aerox 3, you'll see that everything kind of looks like it has this light sheen or epoxy look to it. That is a waterproofing technology that kind of prevents water from, it proofs it from water. Still wouldn't recommend taking a bath with it. You will probably ruin it at that point. And most of the components that are in the Mira are all located in the front towards your left and right click buttons, which makes it a little bit front heavy, where something like the Aerox is a little more balanced in the middle. But enough about that. Let's talk about some of the coolest inclusions that this mouse has. 4 to 5 years ago, Omron really kind of started pushing out the 50 million click lifecycle switches. It has those. Those are fantastic switches. I love them. They're not too stiff. They're not too light. They're that nice Goldilocks porridge meets in the middle perfectness. I used them for a long time on my Corsair Scimitar Pro, and I love those switches. And also from 2016, they're using the very competent and unmodified, or at least to my understanding, unmodified 3360 sensor. This is a great sensor to be putting in mice. And now that it's been out for a minute, it's a lot more reasonable for companies to put them in mice at a lower price. The 3360 can go up to 12,000 DPI. The mouse pulls at 1,000 Hertz, and the skates on the bottom make gliding it pretty simple. Again, it's a little top heavy, so if you do a little bit of a slide with it, the front of the mouse is going to tend to stick and grab more because it's not as balanced as something like Aerox 3. Now, the plastic construction on the side's a little bit on the slicker and maybe a little bit on the less quality side. It does tend to get sweaty on that mouse, which means, yes, gunk, dirt, gross buildup. The scroll wheel does have nice tactile steps. You definitely know that you're scrolling it. Not that it should be that hard to decide that you've scrolled the scroll wheel, but you can tell through the incremental steps where it's at. It's not annoying. It's not overbearing. It doesn't stop you hard. It's nice. Also, all button clicks seem to be pretty well and consistent across the board. I'll give it that, because usually left and right clicks on mice are sometimes a little more mushy. This actually has a pretty solid click and tactile depression actuation on all the buttons on the mice. Take a listen. Now, as far as lighting goes, because some people are curious about things like RGB, what lighting does it have? Does it offer like what the Aerox 3 has? The Aerox 3 is illuminated throughout the entirety of the mouse, while this one is only illuminated in the scroll wheel. And yes, HK Gaming does have very difficult software to locate that does work with it, and it's sort of kind of a very lightweight software. You can go in there and do some programming of macros or reassigning buttons on the mouse, but for the most part, it's pretty lightweight and pretty simple to use. It's intuitive and easy to guide through, not like some keyboard software I looked at recently. That was horrible. I would probably definitely recommend this mouse, especially if you're looking for something with that beehive design, just because you have to have it. Now, there's a bunch of beehive design mice out there that come at a much lower price. I haven't looked at those, and I can't honestly tell you if they're going to be better, worse, or the same yet, but I do plan on taking a look at them at some point in the future. I will say this though, the hardware that's in this I am familiar with, and I will say that the hardware in this is definitely good. I like the 3360 sensor. I like 50 million click Omron switches. That alone makes this mouse totally worth it to me. Anyways, you guys have a great day, night, whatever it is, and I'll see you in the next video that I do.
Ooh.